Okay, today I am here with Nancy Mattis. Nancy is an expert in project management. Nancy, welcome.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks very much. Nancy,
Good.
could you please just give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. I live in Belgium and I've studied translation a very long time ago, actually. Since then, I've been working in the field, but not translating a lot. I mainly started revising text, and then little by little, I did technical tasks on projects and became a project manager. So I worked during 7 years in a company, and after that, I started my own company, which is the one I manage still today after nearly 20 years. And
Fantastic.
in parallel, I teach at universities, mostly translation project management, but also software localization.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And why is translation project management so important? And who's it important for?
Well, I think it's important for any participant in a translation project. Obviously, not only translation project managers, they have to know how to manage their projects, but any participant will manage a project for different steps and on the organization step also. So this is very important for future translators and also for any professional to understand what are the steps in a project. Most of the professional people already follow those steps, maybe not
Hmm.
putting some words or some definitions on those, but we all follow the logical cycle of a project management, which it would be analyzing a project, preparing a quote, doing some schedules, and then following what we are doing and closing the project by invoicing, implementing feedback, and so on. So we
Okay.
all do that,
Yep. Yep.
and that's what I normally teach to people.
Okay, so we're starting off with the quote usually,
Yeah,
or the
quote and
proposal.
analysis. I think the very important part that really sometimes is forgotten by some project managers, maybe, and even by translators, is the analysis. I feel
Hmm.
that the analysis is super important for making sure that you are quoting the right thing and afterwards scheduling the right thing. So that's why I really put the focus on this first step.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly had that experience both ways, in the sense that I've been in a position where I've quoted too much for a job, just made a mistake and quoted too much, and therefore lost the job. And I've also quoted way too little, and then once my excitement of winning the job has died down, I realised that I've actually underquoted, and then I'm stuck with a problem. So yeah, that first part of the job, the first part of project management is very important. And then, of course,
Definitely.
it gets quite complicated when we start to get into timelines, different translators, the review process or the QA process. Do you teach people how to manage that process with multiple translators and multiple languages?
Yes, that's something we again discuss during the analysis, but we do that also in courses about scheduling, specific courses on scheduling. So that will be a second part, of course, after quotation.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's already during your analysis that you need to know how many people you will require and what type of people you need, because
Yeah.
that might also have an influence on your quotation according to how much you have to pay those people.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. And let's talk a little bit specifically now about your new course, Translation Project Management Part 1. So what exactly is included in Part 1, Nancy?
Well, the idea in part one is really to go through all the steps until the moment you do your quotation.
Hmm.
So, as I said, in order to prepare your quotation and be ready to quote for any type of project, you need to know how to analyze a new project. So that's what we start with in the first module of this first course. We check all the possibilities when getting a project, how to analyze it best. And then we also discuss about volumes, how to count the things and estimate the time you will need for a project or for quoting this project. We also discuss the rates because rates vary a lot depending on so many factors.
Yeah.
So we discuss the way to define the rates the best way we can, being fair for the client and for yourself or for your subcontractors. And then at the end of this first course, we see how to use all this data and prepare a good quotation that will make sense for everyone, not forgetting anything, as you mentioned, but not over quoting either.
Mm-hmm. Okay, brilliant. And who would you say is likely to benefit the most from your course, Nancy? You've had hundreds, if not thousands, of students over the years. So who do you think will benefit most from this particular course?
The course is normally for project managers and translators, because during all those years, I've also had the opportunity to give webinars to professionals, mixing the audience really. So teaching, or rather training, coaching project managers as well as translators, freelance people. Would they be translators, revisers, or even technical people? So I try to really prepare a course that would be for everyone, that would make sense for all of them. And normally everyone would find information that would help them to do a quotation. And in the examples, I provide a lot of examples. There are examples of quotation for translators as well as for teams of translators and project managers.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting, Nancy. Obviously, it does relate and it is very relevant for project managers. But I think what I'm seeing today is a lot of freelance translators who, I mean, not only do they need to plan their own projects, but there are a lot of opportunities to work with other translators, to work on bigger projects, to perhaps work with a bigger client. And, you know, you don't necessarily need to become an agency in order to do that. I know some people are a little bit concerned about growing too much and taking on too much, but having these project management skills will allow freelancers to pick and choose the projects that they want to work on, to build these small dynamic teams and to deliver to a different range of clients. Is that how you would see it, Nancy?
Definitely, especially when you build such a team of collaborators, let's say in a partnership, everyone can be a project manager on different projects. So depending actually on the project request you might receive, you can decide to subcontract to others and take the lead or the management of the project. But on another project, you might simply help one of your collaborator on the project he received. So it means that there is a lot of flexibility also working this way. And it helps a lot to know a little bit more about project management to be able to work in those circumstances.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Nancy. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to find out more about Nancy's course, then please just click on the link below. It is, of course, an interactive course, so you get to participate in quizzes and complete assignments. It also includes an extensive range of video content. And finally, you will, of course, as with all of our programs, you'll get a certificate at the end of the course. So click on that link below and please don't hesitate to ask either of us any questions that you might want answers to. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Paul.
Thank you. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.